Hello everyone, and thank you for joining this stream that we're gonna run today. We're finishing this August, and well, this is the monthly meetup online. So I'm going to, for some reason, there's some message here. Cannot, maybe if I close here. Right, okay, well, it's gonna be there anyway, fortunately. I'm sorry for that. So please, if you are listening properly, you can hear me, please click on like or comment. Right. Windows, something wrong. Okay. Hopefully this will kill that message. Perfect, perfect. Okay. Well, hopefully you can hear me, and please let me know if you cannot. Right. So let's start. Okay, so today's agenda is pitfalls in crypto and how to avoid them. And well, we cover some things like public image of crypto, lack of knowledge, that is a challenge for many people, the market volatility, hypes, scams and hacks, issues with proof of work and proof of stake, and network attacks as well, briefly, centralization and whales, fees, and tribalism and maximalists. And then we can have some questions and answers or discussion if we have some time, and if you want to interact with me. Okay, so let's move to the public image of crypto. So obviously the good thing about this is that it is changing slowly, and it's been seen more. Cryptocurrencies are seen more as well, something that needs to be taken seriously, and especially with this economic problem that we have right now. There's some people looking at this as similar to gold. Initially, we start seeing this in interviews or in mass media programs where they are already talking about specifically Bitcoin and related to gold. So it's like it's very quickly changing the view, and you can see also in prices. You can see that Bitcoin, gold, and silver are very, very correlated right now. So you see crypto is or has been more in the past presented by the mass media linked to illegal or dubious activities. For example, money laundering, terrorism, drug dealers, etc. So the news you hear about Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies sometimes is about this. It's about, this drug dealer that was found with so many Bitcoins, and then all these kind of things. But the reality is the most money laundering, and it is proven that most illegal activities and money laundering in general, they use the US dollar. For example, if you look at Narcos, the Netflix series, you will see that Pablo Escobar had a lot of US dollars. But obviously at the time there was no Bitcoin, but still they were trading, and they still do use the US dollar, because and probably Bitcoin as well. No, I really don't know, obviously, but the reality is the most it is proven that most illegal activities are carried using fiat currencies. But yeah, but you see, they always talk about this. They talk about also that this is kind of gambling. It's not tangible. It's useless. Even very knowledgeable people who studied economics and I'm surprised sometimes when I talk to people who are very successful people, but they don't take this into consideration at all. Not even just to give it a try or to see whether it's a way to invest in different things, very different, to whatever they have the income source, and therefore it can be like a not putting all the eggs in one basket. But anyway, I'm surprised sometimes when I talk to people that they take it as a useless thing, or Ponzi scheme, or only for nerds, for internet guys, these kind of things. So you can see some examples of covers, events covered by the mass media, like a ransomware. They always said about this. Well, they are asking for a certain amount of bitcoins, and so they link it to a bad thing. When they started talking about Silk Road years ago, same thing. It was like an eBay for illegal drugs and all this, and they were obviously saying that they were using Bitcoin. And also WikiLeaks. At one point, WikiLeaks was blocked by Amazon and by PayPal and by Visa. So if people wanted to contribute and send money to them, the only way to do that was using Bitcoin at the time. I believe it was back in 2010 or 2011 or something like that. And well, it was a controversy, but at the same time, many people thought about what is this Bitcoin? Maybe they were interested to learn more about this. I don't know, and sometimes that happens as well. Even if you talk about things in the bad way, you generate also some kind of curiosity. And also, something that is bad about this is during the bull runs, they talk about the great hype, and people see, oh wow, Bitcoin went up 1,000 euro one day on 2 weeks or whatever. So I need to be there. And what happened is sometimes they just join without knowing anything. They invest money that probably they lose, unfortunately, because one of the things is that you need to know what you're doing and where you put your heart, your money, basically. But this seems to be slowly changing, fortunately. So as I said earlier, in the media now they are considering Bitcoin in a much better way, and especially when they see that the Fed and other central banks are creating new money out of nothing, which may create in the future inflation, and therefore some people decide to buy gold or invest on assets that are not going to be inflated or created out of thin air, because it cannot. For example, Bitcoin, there's only 21 million that will be created and no more than this. And well, that's a good thing, because they know at least there are going to be only 21 million. No, it's just one person will not decide to create double the quantity. Therefore, it's kind of a hidden tax or stealing money from you. So, okay, let's see. This is one of the biggest pitfalls that I found, and this is actually why I created this meta group, just to help people to gain knowledge and to start properly in this world if they want to. To be honest, I just I don't think it's good to promote it. It is, I mean, the best way to promote it is to explain properly how this works. And one of the ways that I use, if somebody, if I want to talk to somebody about this, or they ask me about, I prefer to ask if they know how the money is created, because I realize 90% or more of people don't know how it's created. And if they don't know how it works and how it's created, it's very hard for them to understand cryptocurrency, the value of cryptocurrency, specifically maybe Bitcoin, which is the hardest money, in my opinion. And well, as I said, it's hard for them to understand if they don't understand how money is created. Now, it is a new field, and there's a lot to learn. You can spend hours and hours every single day, and still there are many things that you won't know. Only about coins, the number of coins is more than 5,000. Listed in CoinGecko is nearly 6,000, but there are many more. The only thing is they are so small that they don't even have. They're not even in that website. So then technology, then how you code it, the rules that apply to the blockchain, specifically in each one of the blockchains, how and all of them work in the same way. Many of them are similar to Bitcoin in terms of code, but then the rules apply differently. So it is a high barrier of entry for newbies. So if somebody wants to learn or wants to join, it is difficult because they need to be able to understand at least few basic points, which not always understand. Nobody, although they don't have anybody that can clarify things for them in some cases. Some of them are naive because they hear from the media that they're gonna get rich in a week. Maybe you put 100 euro today, and in a week you have 10,000, and so the expectations are unrealistic sometimes, and also they can fall for scams because they are naive, and they can see, and we will see later on the scams. Just a few examples of scams, and it's actually even people who are in this long time can fall and is falling into scams, but specifically new people are more prone to fall, obviously. User interface of some apps or just using the system is not easy in many cases. It's getting better. There are many, for example, many wallets that are really, really good and very clear. And they filter, for example, if you add a wrong address, they can tell you, well, this address is not for this coin and this and that. So they can save you from making a mistake as well. But then there's a lot to do. And obviously grandma or people with no knowledge or just very basic knowledge of technology cannot use it today. It's not possible. And you look for information, you find contradictory information, even you talk to people, and even among veterans, you will hear very contradicted information, which also makes you think who is right, what is the right thing here that happens. Another challenge or another pitfall is the volatility, because this market is very new and they're still in price discovery times. So it's not very stable as other markets. The price of, for example, one Bitcoin fluctuates. It was 20K back in 2017 in December, and between them and now it went down to 3.4K US dollars. Then it went up to 14K. Then it went down again because of the the virus thing. And today is about 11.7K. Saying this, it's actually, we are at a very high level right now, because at this point, at 11.7 or above, we have been just a few weeks in the entire history of Bitcoin. So we are in very good position for growing. So we haven't been so, as I said, just few weeks, I don't know, 7 weeks or so during all these 11 years. So that is very good, and it's kind of constant. We are keeping this level for a long time, and it's probably that it's probable that it will keep going up in the future by the end of the year, probably. But this is obviously this is my personal opinion, and it's no at all advice. And the volatility is high in Bitcoin, but in the rest of the coins it's even higher. And some coins have lost up to 95%. So some of them have disappeared. That means that people have lost completely every single cent that they have put on those coins. Psychologically, also people wants to buy when the price is going up. So it's kind of the winner gets all, or kind of you are betting on a race and you see the horse that is winning. You want to be part of this. You don't want to be a loser. You don't want to be losing money or buying something that is losing money. But actually, in some cases, it's the best you can do. Just you buy when people are selling, and yeah, it can go down more, but the chances that it will recover, if it's a good project, is high, and eventually you will get bigger gains. But again, it's a psychological factor that unfortunately many people fall for. Crypto is a high-risk investment. So I always say, only invest what you are willing to completely lose. So any money that you just don't need, say you quit smoking and say, okay, I used to spend, I don't know, €5 per day smoking. Now now I don't smoke, so I'm gonna put this €5 per day and buy cryptocurrency, because if I lose it, nothing is gonna happen. Well, something like that, it might be good, but don't put money that you will need eventually, because then if you need it, it may be the price of the coin may be lower and you will lose money. Even if you think it's gonna go up, or maybe even if in the future goes up again, but if you need it right away, you will have to sell whenever you need it. So hypes as well. There are some kind of seasonal thing that happens in crypto. There are times when people start hyping or talking about a specific topic, and everybody put their money on that, and some kind of rise the price of the coins and all this, and this is happening constantly in this market. Started being, well, one of the older ones is ICOs. So in the area of ICOs, this was like sending normal Ethereum to a specific project address, and then it was like maybe that company or that group of people or that team was, in some cases they didn't even know who was the team. You didn't have any name, of link to LinkedIn or nothing to get to see the background. And in some cases they just received the money, sold, and kept the money, because it was like a startup thing, but they didn't have to return the money. It was a promise, and it's something you didn't know who promised this. So that happened to many people. And on the other hand, some ICOs went very well, and people got some good money. So there were hype as well with EOS. It's just an example. They are happening all the time with many coins. But EOS for a long while also was very promising, and there are so many people buying EOS, and I just lost track. I don't know the price today, but it went up a lot, and obviously now it's way lower than at that time. Now one of the hypes is oracles, because oracles will be information from the real world that is added to blockchains, and some coins are specifically working on doing so. So it's kind of as I said, adding information from real world. For example, prices of I don't know, say like the price of coins. For example, you can see whatever price appears on coin market cap, they can get that information and put it on a blockchain, or provide this to their clients, which will be other coins or other companies, other cryptocurrency projects. So it's like subscription system. So you can subscribe from them, and you get this data into your just data feed into your blockchain. For example, that is okay for smart contracts. For example, you can say you can create a smart contract, a basic one that said, okay, is the price, if the price of Bitcoin goes up by December this year above 15K, I gonna win, otherwise you will win. So you can put certain amount of Ethereums, and it's kind of either one or the other will win. So, but they need information from the real world, and that information can come from them, from an oracle. And so Chainlink is one of the best, is the most important one. They have few competitors now, but Chainlink is the number one by far. Has deals with many other important blockchains, and therefore many Chainlink in price went up a lot, and still apparently will go up. Let's see. So okay, sorry, I just gonna notice I have this twice. Now one of the biggest things is Polkadot. It's one of them, and DeFi. So Polkadot is one of the latest actually, and Polkadot will be similar to DeFi in terms of it can create interact with several blockchains, which can, for example, you can buy a coin by having another coins. For example, if you want to have Litecoin and you have Ripple, you could do that with using Polkadot system, which is an ecosystem. And there is Kusama, there is other non-coins, Ocean as well. There are many coins related to this, and all of them are growing a lot in the last few days. Okay, so Polkadot is something, it's called Dot. Have a look and see. It's pretty new, and it's like 2 weeks old or something like that. Has been released since, and but they have been working since 2017 as far as I know. DeFi is decentralized finance, so it's pretty much in Ethereum, because there are so many tokens. It's a way to, for example, you can get a loan, or you can lend your money. And when I say money, it can be Ethereums, or it can be some other Ethereum tokens, and you could lend that and get some percentage. So you can see you will work as a bank, or you can also get a loan by having Ethereums, but you don't want to sell them. For example, you can just get a loan by putting your Ethereums as collateral, and when you pay back the loan, you get back your Ethereums. So this DeFi thing is kind of growing very, very fast, and is holding a lot of money. You can even tokenize Bitcoin, which is a bit strange, because if enough Bitcoins are tokenized, means that those Bitcoins, the value of those Bitcoins will be higher. It can be higher than the value of the entire Ethereum network as a whole, which is illogical and is mad if you think about. But anyway, we will talk about what the challenges of this create, and is later on. And another hype that is recent is Dogecoin on TikTok, and you can see here it's like a screenshot, and so there were people like kids just talking about this, like comparing Bitcoin price in the past with the Dogecoin price currently, and so the potential that can Dogecoin have. Obviously, not looking at supply and many other things. So many kids started investing and buying Dogecoin, and actually went up 35% in price because of 2,000% in volume. This is just, it all started with some kids, some videos on TikTok, kids talking about this, like saying, oh, Bitcoin is this amount of cents, which is now what Dogecoin is, but now Bitcoin is more than 10K. So imagine if Dogecoin does the same, you're gonna get rich just spending, 100 euro, whatever. So many kids started just buying, which again is mad. But it shows you why. One of the things is knowledge that they missed. They just wanted to buy this, and it was a hype, and but it went up, obviously, and some people got some gains, but out of this dumb money, unfortunately. Also, another pitfall in this world is scams and hacks, and this is two of the most important ones. There are a few examples here, as you can see. Companies were just created to scam people, and it's happening. Back in 2017, BitConnect was huge, was very big. That was a Ponzi scheme or pyramid scheme. Basically, people were referring other people and getting a percentage of what they were getting, but they were getting also about 2% daily. And obviously, people who started at the beginning, maybe they took the money before all this happened, or before they just closed down and disappeared, and they got good money. But obviously, be careful with this. If it's too good to be true, usually it's not real, and it's fake, and it's scam. Okay, and BitConnect is a very big and very important example of it. And to be honest, they closed because also the price of Bitcoin and other coins fell a lot, because after the bull run, when they started everything going down, is when they couldn't maintain this Ponzi scheme. Hackers have stolen coins constantly, so it is very common to see people who have lost their keys because a hacker stole the keys from their wallet, and therefore they got access to their coins, and they send it to another address. So that happens constantly, and that's one of the biggest pitfall. Ransomware as well is, just explain, is like a hacker install a software on your computer that encrypts the entire hardware the entire hard disk. So the data that is there is not lost, but is you cannot access to it. So you send some bitcoins to a certain address, they will give you the solution to unencrypt the hard drive. So that happens to particular, but also to institutions and to governments, local and state governments, and some of them pay the ransomware. This is just giving bad image. It's not related 100% with crypto. It's only the way they get paid. Also, some crypto companies and exchanges were hacked or lost the private keys, like Quadriga CX, for example. Apparently, the CEO died in India, and he had the keys. Only him has had the keys, and therefore nobody else can access to those bitcoins and other coins. There is some controversial. It's a bit controversial because some people say this guy didn't die. He just it was fake, and well, that's out of scope anyway. But that happens, and they couldn't give back the money to the users, to the clients. Mt. Gox was the biggest hack in the Bitcoin history, and it's a very interesting story that I highly recommend you to learn about. It was very early stages. It was the biggest exchange in the world, and based in Japan and owned by a French guy who went to jail and all this. But it was hacked many times, not only one time, and they were just stealing the money little by little, so they didn't realize in a long time. NiceHash is a mining company which allows you to mine with. You have a graphic card for gaming or things like that. You can use NiceHash. It's an app that you install on your computer, and when you don't use the computer, you can mine. And they were hacked as well, and they were stolen many bitcoins. And NiceHash tried to recover slowly, but what they tried to do, is to give back the money little by little to the miners. I think they managed to do so, and they still nowadays open. So there were many other hacks. As far as I know, the only exchange that hasn't been hacked is Kraken, but they may have been hacked, but they don't want to say that. But as far as I know, it's only Kraken is the only one that hasn't been. For example, Binance has been hacked, and many others anyway. So that's, unfortunately, we are talking about coins, which are kind of money, and it's very interesting for hackers to I mean, it's money, so they really are looking to steal the money from you, and this is the best way to do so for them is just to gain access to your computer. And if you have any wallet installed, they can easily take the keys. So, for example, another thing that happened, and this is a kind of hack thing. Here is, as far as I know, it was yesterday. It's a message of this person say, I have 1,500 bitcoins in a wallet that I had not access. So basically, this guy didn't access since 2017. Then he installed an old version of Electrum wallet. And yeah, okay, so it's telling that he installed a fake version of a wallet that he wanted to just to use the keys, and it was it was asked to update the version because it was too old, and what actually installed is a fake wallet that asks you for the keys and for the password, and when you enter the password, they pretty much send the information to the scammers or to the hackers, and then the hackers will move the money to their wallets, and therefore you lose it. 1,500 bitcoins is a lot. It's a lot. So I'm sorry for this guy. Another hack scam. It's pretty much Twitter was hacked and then by scammers. Okay, so on 15th of July, some Twitter profiles were hacked. For example, Obama, Elon Musk, some exchanges. So they were hacked at the same time, and they were asked to send bitcoins to an address, and they will send like double, and well, that was hacked obviously. So I managed to get few bitcoins, but not so many, and they have been tracked since. It's around 14 bitcoins. Here is, and obviously Bitcoin appeared on the media. With, saying that there was scammers were using this and that. So okay, it's just normal. But some people say that again, it's good. Even if they talk negatively about Bitcoin, it's always good because it's a way to raise awareness, and maybe people get curious and want to learn more about this. Another thing that YouTube is not stopping, and it's already like more than 2 months, I would say all summer is happening, is this type of scam, which is all videos of famous people. In this case is it doesn't matter, Vitalik. This guy, they kind of buy channels and they put these videos and they promote those, and happen especially during the weekend. Usually I suppose it's because during the weekend there is less people working for you in YouTube, like people, employees, and therefore you raise awareness to them, or you open a ticket and so on. It won't be seen until it's too late. So this is still going on. This weekend was going on as well, and it's really very bad for YouTube. Really, it looks like they don't care, or I don't know. This was also some videos that they were appearing in the past, and now this is not longer happening. It's only adverts between or within the crypto videos. Anyway, let's move on. Proof of work, proof of stake, and network attacks. I would say the negative parts. Proof of work is what Bitcoin and other Litecoin and other cryptocurrencies are using, and this is about it proving that they are working. They are spending energy, spending resources, doing some mathematical calculations, and therefore they can find the block, and maybe they create the block and they get the reward. This is a challenge. Some people say, well, there's a lot of energy consumption, and it's partially true, but also we are keeping safe a network which hold money, and that costs money. Like, for example, if you have gold, you just cannot have it in the middle of the street or in a place visible on your car. You will have it in a safe place, maybe in a bank, which you can pay for it. You need to pay for it, or whatever, somewhere safe. Okay, and usually it costs money. Even if you have a safe at home, you will have to buy that safe, install it, and that costs money. So if you are keeping money safe, there's a cost involved. For example, also, if we think about telecom companies or important internet companies, all of them have a lot of servers constantly on, spending energy. So that's pretty much similar. The important part will be The important thing to think about is where this energy is coming from. Is it a clean energy? Is a energy that otherwise you wouldn't spend and you will lose, which is most of the cases in Bitcoin. So if that's the case, maybe it's not so bad, but still, okay, it's no ideal, obviously. Centralization with proof of work, it will be about the mining is mostly centralized in China. So about 60% of the mining is happening in China. And therefore, there is a possible issue in the future with China not allowing people to mine or trying to take ownership of the network and so on. Okay, so that's a challenge, and there's a pitfall. That's something that is not ideal. For proof of stake, on the other hand, proof of stake is what Ethereum is going to be in theory. I say in theory because they have planned to do so since 2017 at least. They have been working on this, and there's always 2 years ahead, like in the future, and it's not happening. So hopefully, it will eventually happening. That's what it's called Ethereum 2.0. Some other coins like Cardano and EOS and others, they have proof of stake. Proof of stake will be you prove that you have a stake in this coin. So basically that you have enough coins to be able to create new blocks. And there are different ways to do so. One of the challenges is it's not 100% proven that it's 100% safe, like it is proof of work. And if ever it favors whoever have already coins. For example, the more you have, the more you get. So you stake coins and then you create blocks that will give you rewards, so you have more coins coming to you. And also, in many cases, the more coins you have, the more power you have on the network. You can change things. You can vote. You can vote for changes into the code, into the rules, and that allows people to accumulate more and get richer. So the rich get richer. And some people criticize Ethereum 2.0 because they're gonna make richer whoever is rich already, instead of right now are the miners getting the reward. So there are ways to think about it, and it's controversial, and it could give time to it's a topic that you can specifically talk about in one of the events that we will have. Maybe it's a good idea to compare also Ethereum Classic with Ethereum, the Ethereum we know, and the possible attack in the future, or the move from Ethereum to Ethereum Classic, projects moving to this. So this kind of plans to do so, but it's complicated. And that's linking to the next topic, which is the next point, which is the network attacks. Ethereum Classic has been 3 times attacked this month. And there can be because people can make money out by doing so, but also it can be to force this coin to be delisted from many exchanges. And they do so, they lose everything. So it's a complicated topic, and as I said, it's something that could be interesting to talk about. If you want to, let me know, and we can cover it. And let's move on. So centralization, we kind of talk a little bit about this for mining, but you can, and this is the second thing here, China mining. But whales will be whoever have a lot of coins. Okay, so this is considered a whale, and they can move the market as they please. They can force the price to go down. If they find the best moment, they could drop the price by selling some quantity and then buy back cheaper or something like that. They could do that way. Also, they can raise the price as well. And so most coins are in the hands of few. So some coins that you can see in CoinMarketCap, on CoinGecko, or CoinPaprika, some of them are very, very kind of centralized. They are owned by just few people, and especially those who were created and in a way, for example, like XRP was, or EOS, they created a certain amount of coins and they started selling it to get US dollars, let's say, to get funding to continue with the project. I'm not saying this is bad, but in some cases it is. Okay, if you abuse from that, I think, in my opinion, is not a good thing. Or if you don't tell people, you don't make aware people of that. But that happened with many projects, most of it nowadays. Okay, so it's a way to finance the startup. It's kind of, yeah, you sell a certain amount of coins, or you have a certain amount of coins and you release them every month, so you can pay salaries and you can pay expenses. Okay. The trick is to keep it high, the price, because if it goes down a lot because you are selling too much, then it can be killing. It can kill the coin, basically. Some coins are in the process of decentralization. What I mean with that is that in some cases they are, for example, Cardano, you can see they are using federated network. So they were using a federated network, which is trusted nodes that were creating the blocks. But now they're releasing it to the public, so everybody can stake their coins and they can get rewards, and they can so nodes can create new blocks, and those nodes are no longer federated. And right now they are in 25%. So 25% of the blocks are created by external nodes and not federated, and they are progressively releasing it. So to the point that it will be 100% external. It's not going to be federated anymore. And talking about centralization and whales, exchanges have a lot of power because they hold most of the coins that they are liquid. They are on the market. So for example, many people hodl, many people keep their coins and they don't have it in a exchange. And therefore, let's talk about Bitcoin. Let's talk about the supply right now is 80.5 million. Say that out of this amount, some of them are lost because people lost access to the keys and so on. Say 3 million, 4 million are lost. Then a big chunk of it as well is held on private keys. On wallets, and people have their private keys. Therefore, they are not on an exchange, and some others are on an exchange to trade, to sell and buy. So it's not really 21 million or 18 million. It's actually way less that is liquid. It's on the market. And therefore, an exchange can sell, or as I said at the beginning with whales, they can move the market. Exchanges can actually move the market a lot because they are big whales themselves. And they are the biggest holders of coins. And yeah, they can control markets. And they can control, for example, if they have people using leverage, and I don't know, 100x or something like that, which is mad, and everybody expects the price of Bitcoin to go up. They can see how many people they have at different levels, and they can calculate if it's worth for them to drop the price. If people are betting that the price of Bitcoin is going to go up, they can say, okay, let's sell this amount of coins, which will bring down the price to more or less this, and we are going to liquidate this amount of clients which means that we are going to profit a lot because they are liquidating clients, and then they can sometimes usually that's a very short period of time, and then the price goes back to normally to the same price, but they have already liquidated people. Okay, so it's complicated, but they could calculate this, also knowing how many coins will be needed to drop the price, and vice versa. So talking about centralization, just to see the centralized could be kind of more democratic, I would say. Just the power is on the group of people, on the users of crypto, and centralized could be just few people deciding for all of us. So talking about whales as well, and linking to the previous hacking system that we saw for Twitter, this Twitter hack, actually a whale decided to send in total 6,000 bitcoins to Kraken, and that dropped the price of Bitcoin for a short period of time. So some buyers that have some orders, and it can be actually recommended to have orders a little bit lower or lower than expected, because these things happen sometimes, that you can get lucky and very short period of time the price goes down, also related to the liquidity that I mentioned earlier, and you could get some good price, like a good discounts. And let's talk about fees. Fees is, in my opinion, one of the biggest challenge and problems in cryptocurrency, and most difficult. It's very difficult to resolve, because it's happening since a long time ago, and I don't see any solution on Bitcoin and Ethereum. So Ethereum was famous for the CryptoCats, and CryptoCats was a little app that people could have like virtual cats with different specs, and people were buying them and selling and for crazy money. Don't ask me why, really. Doesn't make any sense, but that happened back in 2017, and it slowed down the network, and the fees went up very much in Ethereum. So it was highly criticized. That happened, it wasn't 1 or 2 days, it was a long time, but now it's kind of happening again in the last month, specifically because of DeFi hype. Ethereum transaction fees again went up a lot, and they're still up. This is today, just to in this case, to swap $43 in from one coin to another, you have to pay $20 in fees. That is mad, and this is something that it cannot continue this way, because really it's killing crypto market. It's killing the two biggest coins, which are Bitcoin and Ethereum. This really cannot happen, and we are not yet in a bull run. And if more and more people are joining, this is going to be unacceptable. Would you be able to, even if you have the Ethereums and you want to even take advantage of the high prices and sell some, you won't be able to, unless you pay high fees. You really, you can, it's nonsense. And that also promotes people to have their coins in exchanges, because they will not want to be moving them around, and they will prefer to have paying lower fees in exchanges, which will create private or virtual coins that they can be pretty much do like QE. they can create money out of thin air again. They can create more coins out of, because they can say, well, I have this amount of coins, nobody asked me for them all at the same time, so I'm gonna do what banks were doing. I'm gonna say that I have 20 times more. They could do that. And they can do that only if they have some and enough. And that's really, really bad for us in general. So this, I have seen this in more than 40 something, just the fees. So if you are moving a lot of money, you don't care. Just 1,000, no, but let's say $100 for transferring, let's say 20,000. Who cares? It's nothing. It's still cheaper than a regular bank, and it's quick. But for small retail people, it's killing the coin. You are not going to get mass adoption by doing so. That's for sure. That is captured today, but it went down. I saw this above 40 something only for the fees. So also some exchanges have different fees, and some of them abuse as well. For example, Cardano, to move Cardano, whatever the figure is, Bittrex will charge you 1 ADA, Kraken 0.5, and Crypto.com will charge you 10. So it's 20 times more than Kraken. That is, again, mad. Okay? And so what do? Do you keep them there because it's not worth to move them? It's just something that I don't really understand. Anyway, the network fees are something different than the exchange fees, because the exchange only, if it's moving coins between them, they really don't pay network fees. They don't pay anything. There's a database on their system. Okay. So this is an abuse to charge 10 ADAs for a small transfer, which it was small, really. And that happened. I mean, I have seen these cases. It's not that somebody told me. The Bitcoin fees went up a lot. The highest was back in 2017. It was kind of an attack because it's complicated, but some miners were mining empty blocks, which means that they don't add any transaction on the block, which means that the delays or increases the delays transactions and increases the size of the mempool, which again, it increases the price of the fees, because there's a competition between people who wants to transfer money to be one of the first ones to do so. And if you have an urgent need to move coins, you will have to transfer, and you will have to pay more fees. You will have to compete with the rest. And so yeah, it was also $60, $40, and so on. And for a period of time happened again and recently, and not to that point, but it was about I believe 30 maximum, $30. And well, still we didn't solve this really. Again, if whenever the network start getting busier and more and more transactions will be required, we will have again this problem. And again, it's not bad for people who are rich. It's bad for the regular Joe that puts some money on crypto, and then if they move it, they will have to pay probably more than the money they have, which is, this is today fees, and the Ethereum median transaction fee is 11 point, which I never seen this. I mean, have seen this with the crypto cards, but really, and it's happening for at least 1 or 2 months already. Bitcoin median transaction fee is also high compared to other times. It's about 70 something sats per byte, and which in the past, sometimes you could just offer 1 sat per byte. This is something you can kind of order. This is something you offer. So you offer fees. You can offer different amount of money per byte. The minimum will be 1 satoshi, as far as it depends on the wallet, but yeah, that will be the minimum. But that means that it may be waiting for the transaction to go to the blockchain hours or days. With Ethereum, it's more complicated, because if you are transferring or you are swapping one coin from one coin to another, what it can happen is that you will pay the fees, but the transaction will not happen, and that happens to many people. So if you offer less than what is supposed to be the average, then you will have to, you may offer this amount of money, you will send this amount of Ethereum as a gas, but you may not get the transaction going, which is very annoying, because if you pay, let's say, like here, 11, say you are asked to pay $11, and then there is a sudden need for more transactions, and so suddenly the price rises to the point that your transaction doesn't take place. You will lose all this amount of money for nothing. So you just pay the fees, but your transaction doesn't go through. In Bitcoin, it's different, because it can stay in the mempool for a while, and if you are not really, if it's not urgent, you can just wait, and eventually you will get it. That's a little bit better, but as I said, not good. Okay, let's continue. It's taking longer, so it's almost finishing anyway. Tribalism and maximalism, or maximalists people. Toxic tribalism exists in crypto. For some people, for some reason, when they buy something, they get attached to the project, and they hold some bags of a specific coin, and it looks like it's similar to politics or football teams or religion or even operating systems and software. So these people that want to use only a Mac OS, they don't want Windows, but other people want Windows, but other people like Linux, and for sometimes somewhat we are emotional and irrational, and that's a reality. So some get very involved, or some can get very attached to a specific project, and they start using the social media to shield it and to bully others, competitors, and criticize. To say, for me, only Ripple is the only one that the real good coin. Everything else is shit coin, or is a scam, or is this or that, and that happens constantly. And I think it's a very negative thing. It's very negative because you lose the focus of adoption and allowing people to learn about this and not get confused and adopt this new technology, which I believe is liberating. So anyway, I do know that many coins are kind of considered shit coins. Sorry for my words, but some of them are scams, or some just a so small team, and they don't know enough to really do a good job. There are many causes that can happen. Not necessarily all the coins are a scam, but many of them are, or they are made just for the sole purpose of getting rich by selling, by scamming people. So unfortunately, these people usually, when the price tops and there's no only way but to go down, they don't sell. They don't sell on time, because they believe in their projects. They believe it's gonna get, it's number one. It's gonna be the best one. It's gonna be recognized, adopted by everyone, and and sometimes they really lose their money and nothing happens. There's a group of Bitcoin maximalists. There is a big group of it, and some people that veterans are most of them, many of them maximalist, because they have seen this again, going back to shit coins or altcoins that they were like very promising, and then they just disappear, or they just there were many of them and continued having many of them. So also they lose usually more when the price drops. They lose a higher percentage if they survive. So yeah, there's a big group of maximalists. Let's say Tom Weiss is one of the best ones or the most recognized ones, and everything else is just it's not good. My opinion is I will say I am mostly maximalist, Bitcoin maximalist, to the point that well, this number one, the way it was created is you cannot replicate that. So it wasn't an ICO. They didn't sell their coins to finance themselves. It was created by somebody or by a group of people who nobody will know, or nobody knows who was, and therefore you cannot pressure a government or a institution or something cannot pressure and try to change the code as they please, and many other things. But pretty much, yeah, I would say Bitcoin is still for 11 years has been there, and it's long time to go. And nevertheless, these better technologies nowadays, and many coins are faster, but they're liquid enough to move money between people without any problem. And there are a lot of pros in new coins. So I do like to see other things as well. I like new technologies, so I'm not stuck with Bitcoin, but I would say it's safer. But also they have less chances to multiply by 100 or 1000 like other coins. So you find a good project in the early stages, you can get good gains, but you won't get this with Bitcoin. So even maximalist people, they do, some of them trade other coins because of the possibility of getting more profit. So yeah, there is different levels of maximalist, and think about, the more you know, usually the more maximalist you become, or the more you are, more time you are, because you are seeing so many scams around, so many projects that you see that maybe the head of the project abandon the project and then create another one just to get more money, and then you jump to another one, and they don't really they stay there for adoption. They are there for getting rates. Anyway, it's a personal decision, and that's it. For example, this is related to what I said about the created tribalism, the shilling or bullying. So people who were started with Coinbase, one of the first companies in this field, and they started adopting coins which for some people would be considered shit coins, and many Ethereum tokens, and then they have been doing things that have gone against the biggest group in. Again, they have hired companies, they have bought companies, and they're working with some governments. So people are now bullying or criticizing a lot Coinbase. So that's pretty much all, guys. Thank you for staying there. If you have any question, please ask the question. And If somebody is like, please, you still there, please. Let me know why. I love criticizing, but I would love to, if you can tell me why you dislike the video, and how can we improve, more than just clicking on dislike. I don't think it's a nice thing. I am here for you guys. So any question or any comment, please? No? I will ask you, please, if you enjoy or you learn something new, please like, because I have one and one. So if you don't mind. Thanks, Mandela. I appreciate the likes, and thank you. Okay, guys, if you are in Ireland or in Dublin, hopefully, I hope next time we can meet in public, like we used to do. It's not the same here online. I know for people who are not in Ireland, it's better to be online, or they can watch it anytime later, because you can just use the link and watch it tomorrow, or send it to a friend or something like that. And please do, you don't mind also subscribing. And my plan is to do weekly videos, shorter, and talking about a specific topic in a faster way. Like here is kind of relaxed. I've been talking about the topics, but also spending more time in explaining and so on. But I will try to do more like YouTuber type of video, with some intros and some so you can suggest topics as well. I have a few of them already in mind, but I would like to know what you prefer to know, and I'm happy to work on whatever topic you think is a good idea. For example, one of the topics is, maybe every week I will talk about the coin of the week, coins that I believe they have a lot of potentials. And we will talk about the project, the team, and the price, and what is going to happen and when. For example, Cardano is one of the recommended ones. They are Cell as well. Cell is very recommended. It looks like it's going to go up in price, and many others that we can discuss in the future. So thank you guys again, and for being there. I really appreciate it, and see you soon. Okay, bye.